So now she's going to move into a side view just to give you a different angle of the movement she's doing. So she wants to make sure she's keeping this elbow right here and make sure it's staying stationary and not shooting forward or back at all. Also, the positioning of your feet will determine also how much resistance you want. The wider your feet are, the more resistance it's going to add to the band, because the more okay, so now she's done with that, we're going to move on to the next exercise, which is going to be the same curl motion, but we're going to be having an overhand grip on the resistance band. So you're going to have it down right here, doing the same motion, keeping it tucked in right there. So she's dropping down the resistance because this is working the forearm a lot more. She's keeping that same core tight. Elbows tucked into the side. She's also having her shoulders depressed and the scapula retracted. Make sure that chest is sticking out a little bit. She's doing good. Make sure her breaths are also going in. So when she's contracting, she's breathing out. And when she's going down in her eccentric contraction, she's going to be inhaling. She sets up, gets her form nice and tight, keeping that neutral spine. Good. She's doing a great job of keeping that elbow in the same position throughout the entire movement. Keeping true to that 3-1-3 cadence. So from there, give her about 30-second rest. She's going to transition from this to a tricep workout. So she's going to have the band, and she's going to have it one side longer than the other. So the inside part of the band is going to be the short end, and the long side is going to be on the outside. She's going to bring it around, and she's going to shoot her arm straight up to the ceiling, keeping that elbow right by the ear, and keeping the shoulder and the elbow in a straight line, keeping it perpendicular with the ground. So after her 30-second break, she's going to come back in, keeping that elbow in that stationary position and shooting it straight up to the ceiling. She's going to try to keep her lat tight in order to protect that shoulder. And she wants to keep her core tight and keep that rounding at the back minimal. Increasing that lordosis is bad, so we want to stay away from that. Again, you're going to have to use a little bit lighter resistance on these type of exercises depending on how far along you are on your resistance training. She's been doing resistance training for a while now, so she's pretty fluid with her motions and keeping true to her form, keeping conscious of where her body is in space. Remember to keep her breathing. Good. Okay, so from now she's going to just move on to the other arm, doing the same exact exercise. So remember, the short end is going to be on the inside part of the body. Long end is going to be on the other side. She's going to come around here, doing the same exact thing, keeping that elbow right by the ear. Remember, you don't want to let the bicep touch your ear or head. You want to keep the shoulder and your elbow in line, in a straight line, perpendicular to the ground. She's also making sure she's in that stagger stance. Good. Keeping that core tight. Finishing the motion throughout the full range of motion right here. So she's getting right about to that locking out point, bringing it back down. Pause it for a second, bringing it back down. And when she brings it back down, she makes sure to just safely bring it down to a safe position and release it from the resistance. From there, she's going to get another 30-second break. She's going to go what we call tricep kickbacks. So she's going to have it right here, longer end is going to be loose on the inside this time. So she's going to have it right here and get in this stagger stance with a slight forward bend. Keeping the elbow and right next to your lat muscle, and you're just going to straight kick back right here. She's going to have to grab the band a little different this time in order, just for comfortability purposes. She's going to shoot it back, bring it back in, keeping this at a 90-degree about, kicking it back, bring it back in. So she's going to be doing that exercise on both arms, just how we did the tricep extensions. You can always play around with how much resistance you're giving yourself depending on how short the band is. So she's keeping about that 90-degree angle right there. So she's going to bring it back, keep that elbow back up a little bit.